Hello, everyone. Okay, show of hands. How many in this room would say that they primarily work in Web3? All right, that's about a bit more than half. How many would say that they're primarily working in research? Okay, there are a couple. Okay, where are all the scientists today? Like, where are all the researchers today? I think we're still at this early stage in DeSci where when we look at the audience, we have way more people that are interested in Web3 that come here and not enough scientists that come here. And I think the answer why that is the case is visible when we look at our technology stack and the token stack that we've been working on. So when we look at DeSci today, we basically have two different token primitives. We have governance tokens on the one hand side. Those are your Vita tokens, HAIR tokens, but also Vita Fast, so IPT tokens, tokens that are designed for communities to come together and govern something, a resource. Now, what is that resource? Oftentimes, they're some kind of legal token, like an IP NFT, a right to future intellectual property, a right to future commercialization rights. Oftentimes, the people that own the governance tokens, they come together, they fund the research to do, issue the legal agreements, negotiate with the universities. But the questions you can ask is, where does the science happen in this stack? Where is the researcher pipetting? Where is the data scientist generating a plot, identifying a new small molecule that has a desirable property? I think we need to close the loop to also give scientists a cultural product that they can produce in this, right? The people that are good at building communities, fostering communities, their product are governance tokens. They can meme a scientific area into existence. People that are really good at picking projects and negotiating terms, they have legal tokens. They have their primitive. But what's missing is a scientific record or just a record. You want to, as a scientist, you want to have your own cultural product. You want to drop your record. You want to analyze a new data set. You want to discover something new. You want to run an experiment, and you want the world to see that. And communities with governance tokens to form around that, people that are good at picking projects to come in and want to purchase it. So we need to complete this stack. We need to build tokens that are science, that represent research output. And that's what we built. So a year ago, we identified this gap where we said, okay, there are communities that fund science and there are token primitives that are interested in representing intellectual property rights, but there's this sort of middle gap of, where's the science actually done here? And this is our answer. So records give the holder an exclusive ownership right over the scientific data ownership rights, and there's data analysis right built in. So everybody can go and play with the data that was contributed, and everybody can reproduce how the data was created. There's a fully open source Python package that can work today, and you have the latest BioML tools at your fingertips, running on a distributed compute and storage network that you can also contribute to in not too distant future. It is a product built, a protocol built for the impatient inventors like you. You can actually run it. If you had to try it at lab.xyz, you can run a Colab notebook where you're kicking off a job. How does it all work? So the stack that we're building up is at the top layer, we have a token. So this is similar to an IP NFT or a governance token like Vita. This NFT gives you permissions to distribute the work and ownership rights to the scientific data. And then, however, this token can do a bit more. It's not only pointing to data that's stored on IPFS or distributed to IPFS, you can actually run computation over this data yourself. Now, why is this way better than the way that we currently store academic data? Is because there's not one server that we trust that the data is safe. We use a peer-to-peer file storage system, IPFS. So every data has a unique identifier. It's immutable. It's robust. You have access to a community-maintained set of tools. It's like a Hugging Face for computational biology, where you see small molecule docking tools, a variety of those, protein folding tools, and even more tools coming. We can go into those in just a moment. And then at the top layer, you have tokens. So tokens that represent the ownership, and that when you look closer into them, they give you the full computational graph. So you see the source data that was used, the tool that was run, the function, and the output data that was contributed and is owned by the scientist that holds that token. The ownership license can be completely remixed. Right now, they have CBE exclusive licenses. So if you own that token, you own the rights to the data fully exclusively. And if you sell it, the person you sold it to owns all the rights to the data. Now, what's coming soon is we're going to bundle these things into the IP claim stack, so you actually can go the whole loop. Now, what can records do? We're currently running a set of pilots. This is a company based out of California. We're designing protein binder candidates for oncology drug targets. This is in pets as a public pilot, but we're also having some really human clinical relevant pilots on here. This is another company, Fission Pharma. We're developing allosteric inhibitors of a drug target associated inflammatory disease. This is a small molecule drug discovery project. So here we use hardware accelerated docking algorithms to dock 10 million or more small molecules within a week to actually get to allosteric binders here. And then this is actually an example from a DAO you know, VitaDAO. So we helped the Koralchuk project, and shout out to Tyler and Benji here at the Molecule team that helped with all of this. We helped the Koralchuk team analyze their screen results. So here we can see a landscape of different small molecules that were active, and we can see certain clusters here of molecules that have properties that are very desirable, and we can help identify different chemical types and direct the future development of these therapeutics. And then last but not least, we're also super happy to work with Protocol Labs. And this is a collaboration where we onboard the complete ESM atlas. So those are about 700 million proteins that were sort of at the risk of being taken offline completely as Facebook shut down the AI research team. Now this data is on Filecoin, and huge shout out to Wings to help do all of that with us. Now, what can you do today? We launched about 30 days ago on testnet. We have about 200 records that have been minted in the last couple days. We have new tools coming out. So this is a protein binder. So if you have, for example, a drug target that is interesting to you, implied in aging, implied in hair loss, and you want to design a potential binder that can address that surface target, we have the tools to help you. You have a bunch of demos that you can run, and you can mint your own tokens. So head to docs.lab.xyz/tutorials to give it a try. And also, just stick around for tomorrow. We have a workshop at 10:45. Stop by, bring your laptop. Let's mint some tokens. Let's do some science together. Thank you. Your online community can do a lot. Let's do it.